What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we have a pretty enormous Amazon options trade here going forth that's going actually out all the way until next year. It's basically an options straddle. So straddle is when a options is bought at the same expiration at the same strike price, but you're buying the put and call at the same strike price. So for example, let's just go ahead and jump to the trade directly here. So we're looking at someone who purchased 250 of the 3,000 call. Again, that's the 15th of January of 2021, and at the same time they purchased the same expiration at the same strike price, but the put at also with 250. So again, that creates that straddle. So basically the underlying strategy or the overall looking at what we need the stock to do is going to needs to rise significantly or needs to fall significantly. So if there is no movement, if Amazon just stayed where it's currently at 3,000, the options trade until January of this coming year, it would be completely useless, and they would lose nearly $17 million on that. But as we all know, stocks don't normally just, especially Amazon, just don't trade in a very tight range. They're pretty sporadic, going up and down, left and right, and sometimes loop-de-loops. But that being said, let's go ahead and kind of look at the charts and could see maybe seeing what particular this trader or hedge fund is looking at for the particular movement, because we do know that there is earnings coming out next week. That could be a large catalyst as well. We've seen a lot of the heavier NASDAQ stuff kind of slightly sell off the last 2 or 3 days, but Amazon is one that has really come back quite significantly. Brian, if you're watching, please comment down below. You know exactly those purple magical enchanted lines that we like to draw here. Completely, that has held it very well. It did kind of break through it for a little bit intraday, but it really closed above the 21. So very significant signs here, looking absolutely fabulous with holding that trend around the 21. Again, like we talked about, earnings coming out the 30th, so that's actually Thursday. We might have a special get-together for a live stream on Thursday after the close. Again, Amazon, a lot of companies are reporting on Thursday, so we'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night at 9:30, and we'll be going through all the different stocks that are going to be coming out for earnings, and hopefully to see everyone out for that. We're going to be doing that at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so hopefully book that on your calendar, put that on your phone, and hopefully to see you there. All right. So let's go ahead and actually dive into how this trade would look like. So I'm using here Tastyworks here. I configured the trade here. You can see here that it did have enormous amount of volume coming in both those days. Again, this is the close of Friday. You see a lot of options activity here already at the 3,000 calls here. Again, one of these call options, okay, is around $34,000. Okay. It's insane. It's a $3,000 stock. These options are going to be super high. Again, the firm's only they're actually buying 500 total shares, 500 total options of this particular strike price, and again, it's going to cost them nearly $17 million to do so. And so, what are they betting on? They're basically betting on the emphasis of a particular again, huge run up or a swing lower. So where they can make a lot of money is when it starts breaking below the 23.26. That's to the downside, and they can make a substantial amount of money. It's basically can go on for infinite as long as how the price can go. Is basically around 36.80. So that is basically how this particular option trade will make money. Of course, if it just kind of stays in the red zone here into expiration, you can still make money in around when it's starting to move a little bit. But if you're betting $17 million, you're not just going to take a little $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 profit here and there. You're really going to probably wait for a pretty significant move. Again, with earnings coming out just in a couple days, that could be a huge catalyst for a large movement either direction. Again, you're basically just saying, you know what, I want to be neutral. I'm just going to flip a coin, and I'm thinking there's going to be volatility in Amazon, and this is what I'm going to do. And if you have $17 million, you can do the exact same trade here. So let's go back and look at the charts and kind of see where these lines are kind of intersecting. So we talked about, it was basically $2,300. So we're looking around 2,300, which kind of lines up almost with the 200-day exponential moving average. So we can do a little price alert there. Again, this is all the way until January. But again, anything can happen in the market. Just remember that. And then to the upside, it was around 3,600. So which is right about here. Draw an alert there. So we're talking a pretty enormous range that we're looking at for Amazon to basically have a fairly large movement within 174 days. Again, if everything kind of goes sour, we've seen these moves before, and they happen fairly fast. Amazon has been somewhat of a steady eddy on the daily chart here for the past before the overall outbreak in the virus. But with this whole new global economy, things being very difficult, it's also an election year. The economy is slowing, and some people are saying this, some people are saying that. We don't know. I don't think anyone knows. Again, no one has a crystal ball in the market, and anything can happen. So get ready for anything. So with this particular trade, again, looking for the potential downside to hit the 200. Again, anything can happen. That's likely. It's also likely that it can break above its recent highs around the 3,300. It actually can continue going higher as well, especially with the influx of more people having to stay home, a lot of schools being closed down, all the other variances that Amazon could be another large driver of revenue and just getting more business due to the fact of the circumstances. As of right now, the chart looks super strong because it's actually seeing that nice little recovery here. This is a very strong candle. This thing is like the Hercules candle in the sense of just breaking above that 21 and holding it. As you know, that we really use the 21 and 34 to kind of gauge the trend. So if the candles are above these moving averages, we're really looking for that trend to continue. If we start seeing the candle starts breaking below the 21 and below the 34, which is the orange dotted or dashed line here, that's when we're going to start a little hesitant. We could get some chop, we could get some potential consolidation, building a base, and so that forth. Again, ever since the pandemic and virus, we've really seen a very strong movement. Really, the 21 and 34 have been pretty significant balances and gateways and allowing it to continue going higher and just really giving it, if it gets down to 21 or 34, they kind of embrace it, give Amazon candle a little hug, and then like, okay, see you later, kick you out the door, and you need to continue going higher and making money for the bulls there. There's a couple other indicators that we're going to be looking at here. The momentum has slightly slowed down. The past basically 2 weeks we've been kind of in a choppy mode, and again like a trading range. So what we're going to do here is actually going to create this, which if you've seen the AMD video, we're going to make these make-believe invisible boxes. So these make-believe invisible boxes kind of help us guide us in a visual aspect of like, okay, if Amazon needs to break above this box to continue going higher, if it starts breaking below the box, that could be some potential downside pressure and further downside consolidation. So that's just there for visual purposes. It's completely make-believe. Don't it's a nice little fun magical box. So that's a nice significant tool to look at as well. So as we're talking, the volume has been really strong here. Those are the blue bars you see in the back. Momentum's kind of slowing down. RSI has been kind of flat to a little Volume oscillator is really trying to pick up here. If we get this above 0, that could be a significant sign for, again, that potential to kind of break out of that box. Let's go ahead and pan over to the weekly chart, and the weekly chart says a really great thing of what we can see Amazon to come. So Amazon, normally, like a lot of stocks, well, Amazon's not like any stock. It's its own thing, and it's a complete beast. It usually has a huge run up for a while, and then consolidates. Huge run up, and then it consolidates for a little bit of a while. Is this run up consolidating? No, because as you can see here, it kind of has had this before where it's really just trading between the 5 and 8 exponential moving average to continue going higher. Once the 21 kind of gets closer to it, we could see some consolidation coming here from Amazon. What up traders, what up investors? We're going to be looking at some fantastic stuff here, looking at Stich Fix. This is going to be an affiliate link that we have down in the description below to help you look fresh this summer attire. As you can see here, you can see some of the stuff that I've recently gotten. I always ask my stylist, like, hey, give me the hottest, coolest Hawaiian shirts that you got, and you can kind of see here what I've gotten here in the past. Some really cool stuff. I really do enjoy it. If you want to help support the channel and get yourself a nice stylish fee, we both can get $100 back for the next, I think, 24 hours. A little incentive to kind of get and try maybe a new style, try new things. Each box, you can kind of keep it on the cheap side, like I like to do it, keep it around 140 bucks. So definitely check it out. It would help greatly if you appreciate. Use the style link below in the description. All right, guys, peace. As you can see here, that we have not really traded below that 5 and 8 on the weekly side for any significant amount of time. We've seen that here in the past. The only time when we consider some consolidation or some negativity downside is when the 21 starts catching up with the overall the candlesticks. And the 21, which is the yellow line here, is pretty far away from where we're currently trading. The 21's basically at 25.20, so nearly $500 away. Again, I'm not saying this, not that anything can happen, but we could drop in easily in a couple days, get down to that level. We've dropped from 2100 down to 1800, again, due to the overall pandemic of things. Anything can happen. Just be very mindful of that. But the overall trend has been, if it gets down to this 21, that is a pretty significant sign that it's going to be, that it's a great buying opportunity. As of up here, this is just really playing the overall trend. We've had hiccups. If you zoom out, if you're looking at this at like a 5-10 minute chart, you're probably ripping your hair out and probably half bald like I am when you're just trying to trade this. But if you're looking at a larger time frame, further away, maybe a couple miles away, and looking at this chart like we're looking at here on a weekly side, it looks very well. Like, it looks very healthy. It's not breaking. If it starts breaking below the 28.39, that's going to be the significant price targets where we would like to adjust and look at that particular stock. Again, super mindful. We do have earnings coming out. Just be very mindful that this could be a large catalyst to the up or downside. So what we're going to be looking at next is the movement of the next coming earnings, which again is expiring next week. So we're looking at plus or minus $242 from where we're currently at. So what we can do with that, since we can kind of guesstimate where we could be. So let's just call we're at 3,000, and the move is basically $250. Let's just do a little bit of rounding errors again. We're not going to be completely politically correct. So we're looking at basically this level here. And I'm going to draw another box to kind of emphasize that. So it could be the plus 250 from where we're currently at, or minus 250, which would be around 750. Let's just call it there. So that is going to be, we're going to edit this one, and we're going to change it to a nice, or make it yeller. Nice little yeller color. So this is going to be the potential. Actually, you know what? Let's make it green. And then we're going to do this awesome sauce and kind of place it over here. So make sure I got this still somewhat right with some accurate numbers on here. Let me just do it a little bit lower. Again, I'm not going to be Mr. Precise here, but there. So if we start going back down to the daily side, this is basically what we are predicting here for this stock to kind of have that movement in the next coming next week. Basically, again, how we found that out was going to the trade tab, look at what week they have earnings, and that expiration we're looking at a very low actually implied volatility, which is kind of strange for have earnings on, but then also have the overall movement here plus or minus $242. So that being said, those are some looking at what we could potentially see in Amazon. Be super mindful that we're still, again, we had a really strange week last week with a lot of techs getting hit hard, but now Amazon has kind of raised from the dead. It's been super strong alongside with AMD. Yeah, you know it. But again, hope you guys learned something from today. If you did, please hit the like. If you didn't, you know where the dislikes at, you haters. That being said, I hopefully to see you guys on our fantastic live stream come tomorrow, Sunday at 9:30 Eastern time. And yeah, catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.